Hi everybody, it's Nikki here. 안녕하세요. 저는 Nikki입니다. Welcome back to HallyuHeaven. Today I have for you a bit of an update on the whole Seungri Jang Jun-young issue. In the past 2 weeks or so, we had a lot of information just kind of be thrown at us on a daily basis. It has slowed down, but the investigation is still going on. Let's start with Jang Jun-young. He has been arrested for sharing hidden camera footage. He is facing up to 7 years and 6 months in jail if he is indeed convicted and said guilty. But then again, he kind of already said that he's guilty of it because he confessed to all of this. So we kind of have to see how all of that plays out. Police has mentioned that he did try to wipe some information off of his phone. Now technology is so advanced that we can recover data. That's where forensics come into play. We can recover data from phones that are wiped. So if you're not familiar how this all works, anything that you delete off your phone is not forever deleted. Unless you literally smash your phone, toss it into the bottom of the ocean. And even then, in some cases, you can still get information off of that phone. But something that also happened with Jang Jun-young's phone is that now Cha Tae-hyun and Kim Juno have stopped all the appearances on any shows they've been part of because in the messages with Jang Jun-young, they have talked about gambling and doing bets while playing golf and all of that, which in Korea is actually illegal. Gambling in the way of gaining a property is a crime in Korea, and they can also get in trouble for that. But we now see that for me personally, gambling is not that big of a deal. I get it, in Korea it's a crime and illegal, but personally I think what he's done is so much more worse. But he's now dragging his friends down and his colleagues. I don't think Lee Bak-il, 2 Days, 1 Night will ever come back from this. They're on an indefinite hiatus. And now with Cha Tae-hyun gone, Kim Juno gone, I don't really see a future for 2 Days and 1 Night, which absolutely saddens me because it was one of my favorite shows. But again, here you can see how his actions have a ripple effect on other people, and he's now getting other people in trouble with his actions. And I think that's one of the things that pisses me off the most, is not only the hidden camera footage where he's filming females, which also pisses me off to no end, but now dragging other people into it with something way more minor, in my opinion. I used to be a pretty big fan of Jang Jun-young, but he completely let me down now. So, no. Now let's talk about Seungri for a bit. He did postpone his military service, but due to Seungri's issue now, the MMA, Military Manpower Administration, is going to amend the law that suspects cannot go into their military service to flee an investigation. So that was a good part on Seungri to say, no, I'm going to try to postpone my military service on his own behalf instead of, going in and that becoming another big mess. However, his other actions kind of, again, play to me like he's trying to play the dumb card, which also saddens me. Like, I know he's a smart guy. He knew what he was doing. The Club Monkey Museum, he has admitted that he knows that this one was registered as a restaurant and not as a club, which again is tax evasion because clubs have to pay more taxes than general restaurants. Now, okay, done with that. The prostitution issue, and there's more and more evidence coming out that he did use prostitutes as a bribe and as favors and gifts here and there. In a Korean news show, his lawyer had said, oh, the Kakao Talk messages were just typos. How are you having a typo that's a paragraph long? Like, that's not a typo. That is you fully knowing what you're typing. So that dumb card didn't play in a lot of people's minds, including mine. It doesn't work that way. Now, there were also allegations of gambling with Seungri, and he said he was just bluffing. But you can't just write everything off as bluffing, typos, or other things like that. You wrote what you wrote, and the way the messages are, it doesn't seem like it's just jokingly mannered. You fully know what he was writing. And Jang Jin-young has collaborated that, yeah, certain things did happen. Now you have someone saying, yes, this happened, and him constantly saying, no, it didn't. And Seungri can't just keep saying, no, I didn't know anything of this. I didn't do anything with the prostitutes. I never wanted to have prostitutes come in as a bribe or whatnot. There are messages between him and Yuri Holdings CEO saying, yes, let's just bring in the usual girls. Let's bring in the girls we know. Like, come on. Like, we can read between the lines what's going on here. So that's kind of where I'm disappointed in Seungri, for him just being like, oh no, I don't know anything, but there's messages and evidence behind it. Again, we have to wait what the court and the prosecution does in this case to see how guilty they find him and if they will arrest him or not. Now, when it comes to the police officer, Mr. Kim, who has been in this issue with them, the ties between Seungri and him are kind of sort of blurred because Seungri started deleting evidence off of his Instagram that ties him to Mr. Kim. So here we go again, evidence just being deleted, and I hope never finds it, but what's on the internet's on the internet. What's out there is out there. You will always be able to find something. You will never fully erase what you put out into the World Wide Web. Well, we're talking about Mr. Kim, the police officer, who used to be the chief superintendent. He did have a relationship with Choi Jong Hoon. Now, he says, no, I didn't. We played golf once, that was it. However, Mr. Kim's wife received VVIP tickets and VIP tickets from Jong Hoon for their concerts. Now, in Korea, there is an anti-corruption law. The anti-corruption law pretty much says that public officials are not allowed to receive gifts over 50,000 won, neither their spouses. Now, those VVIP tickets and the VIP tickets together are 360,000 won. So that was clearly a bribe in a way. And Mr. Kim was now handed over to the prosecution to see what they want to do with him. I think this whole case is still a complete mess, and all I want is for it to, again, be investigated the right way and not, again, money talks and the bribery and the corruption continues. The public has a really close eye on not only the police, but everything right now. They will dissect everything and question everything that is happening. If warrants are being rejected, they're going to question that, which they have the full right to, because the corruption seems to lie so deep. Not only are police officers being bribed, but I'm fully aware that there are judges that are willing to take a handful of money and say whatever you want them to say. That's just how deep the corruption is in Korea. Again, I'm saying we need to wait this out. We can't make judgments. I think we all have made a judgment on all of them right now, which is just normal for human beings. But we fully have to wait the full investigation and see what they are saying and how far it goes into court and see the whole court play out. Guys, please let me know in the comments what you think about this whole issue. I know there's a lot of VIPs still standing behind Seungri. I know there's a ton of VIPs being completely against Seungri. What about Jang Jin-young? How do you feel about him? How do you feel about the whole issue of 2 days, 1 night now being completely dragged into it? Please feel free to leave a comment down below. I always read your comments, and let's have a conversation about this and have an intellectual conversation and not just bashing one another. As always, I will try to keep you updated as much as I can. Please don't forget to follow all my social media, Instagram, Twitter, and my website, HallyuHeaven.com. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the little bell icon so you can get notified when I upload new videos. Guys, always remember, I love you. 사랑해. Bye bye. 안녕.